Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mother Days podcast. I am your host, Sarah Wright Olsen.
And I'm Teresa Palmer. How's it going, everyone? This is giggly. This is so funny to do this. I have one of my best friends in all the land sitting right next to me. And we so rarely do in-person guest interviews and like podcasts. So it's
such a gift,
funny.
though.
I roped Phoebe Tonkin in.
This should be called the sleepover series. So when you have someone, I slept over last night. I'm drinking coffee that Mark made me. But yeah, that should just be like your prerequisite. And someone stays over, they get to go
jumping on the pod.
I mean, lucky us, though. We get to have Phoebe Tonkin on our podcast, which is so freaking amazing.
It is a great honor. And I'm not a mother, but I'm an auntie. You're not the auntie days.
The auntie days.
So
by the way, your niece and nephew are the cutest things in the entire world.
That's such a dream.
But I've been an auntie for 11 years.
Oh, yes, you have. Auntie Phoebe. I was showing them some photos of Auntie Phoebe from like Vogue. She was just on the cover of Vogue, people.
Oh, yeah. Just so only.
You know, just as you do. She was just on the recent cover. I was showing the kids last night and she's so gorgeous. She's looking so sexy and gorgeous in these photos. And I was like, yep, that's your Auntie Phoebe. That's her. Forrest's face was like, his jaw was dropped. He was like,
yeah. She's like, yeah, this is me, and that's also me.
He's like, you look like that right now. You're in Japan.
Well, I've always told Teresa, like, Phoebe's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Any photo, I'm like, oh my God, there is just like no creature like you.
It must be hard. It must be hard.
I'm working on like not like rejecting compliments.
Good.
So I'm just going to say thank you. I'm also in, the company of the other two most beautiful women I know. So
you're very sweet.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll accept that.
I'm going to accept
2 weeks postpartum. I'll take it. I'll take it all.
Such an Australian thing. And I know we talked about this. Like, especially when I first came to LA and I was so used to being like, I'd go to a meeting and they'd be like, you were really great. Your audition was really great. Or this film you were in was really great. And I'd be like, no, I was terrible at the movie's good, but I was terrible in it. And the person I'd be speaking to is like, that's such a terrible way to like promote yourselves. Well, the American girls I learned were like, yes, thank you. Yes, I worked really hard in this. And it was such a learning curve for me to not put myself down when I'm trying to get a job. Like your job actually is to sell yourself, and you can do it in a way that isn't. I think we were also scared of being like arrogant or cocky and being like, poppy syndrome. But there's definitely a balance where you can be like, yeah, I think I worked really hard and I'm glad that you really appreciated my hard work.
Yes.
Without saying, oh no, I was shit in that. And like, why would they cast you if you're telling them that you're bad?
It's so true. That is such like an Aussie mentality.
Yeah.
Because we have, the tall poppy syndrome, which is, when someone grows up tall and they have success, like a tendency to cut them down, which is, and so then you do it to yourself first.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God, no, even last night, Phoebe was complimenting me on a show I have out. Like, I really want to see it.
I just binged one. Oh, I haven't seen that because I can't see it yet. I really want to. That one I can't get here yet, I don't think.
But of course I came in with the like, but I didn't like this and me in this scene. I didn't like this and da-da-da-da. And I started critiquing myself immediately. And I could hear in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm doing that thing again. Like, instead of being like, thank you so much. Like, I really can't wait for you to see the show.
Yeah.
It's a natural tendency.
Yeah. I have the same thing, though. I think I've always been like taught to be, you have to be humble, and then so in anything that you do. So then it's like anytime someone compliments you, you feel bad owning it, you know? So you're just like, thanks. Yeah, no, what? Me? Oh. And then, you know, and then you're just like, no, wait, I should own that. It's great. Yeah. Well, I just watched Tez in the last anniversary yesterday.
Did too.
I binged the entire show.
And you're going to hear some compliments. How good is she?
Oh my God. And the show
is so beautiful. And it's like such a beautiful part of Australia. And
it's stunning.
It was a really interesting tone as well. Like it was a really like, But you're always good. Always good.
Oh, shush. I mean, whoops. I meant to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah, you and Phoebe were my two little besties who binge watched the show because she texted me
in the day.
Me too.
And then Sarah did that. And I was like, wait, that's so cute.
To the point that I got to the end and I was like, oh my God, there was 7 episodes or 8 episodes? I was like, 6. Okay, well, I just got to the end. I was like, I've been on the couch for 6 hours.
Yeah,
like,
same.
I need to get up. I need to get some water. Like I spent whole hours on the couch.
Me too. I was like breastfeeding all day.
Yes. It's so good. It's on in America. On what?
On AMC. Well, you can buy it on Prime Video because I didn't have AMC, so I bought it. And I was like, I'd spend $14 on a scone. I can definitely spend $14 on.
Oh my God.
I can buy a series. I can do this. You know, you're always like, should I spend money on that show? Yes, you should. You should buy it.
It's also so nice to see, like, I mean, we all share an interest in true crime or like really heavy kind of dramas. And it was nice to watch something that had a lot of hope. And, you know, there was so much like life in these women's, you know, stories. And it was
women supporting women.
Yeah. Was this the show, Tez, that you were watching with the kids and then you were like banging it out with the dude?
Oh, yes.
They were so pretty graphic.
with Xavier Samuel's bare bum like just comes into shot.
I started cracking up so much because I remembered the episode where you were telling that story and about how you were watching it with the kids and then you were like, oh my God, wait, stop it. Somebody give me the remote.
I'm getting fucked so hard in that scene.
It was more than one scene. You were like, it was one scene. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, it keeps going.
No, it kept going. I started screaming because the boys were next to me. I was screaming it and I was like, I know, trying to find the remote. Like I couldn't find the remote. And I was like, run. And they're like, what? That's probably more disturbing to them.
I had that because I was watching it with my mum as well.
And
I kind of suddenly was just like, I just have to write back to an email really quickly. I'm just going to not address what's on the screen.
Same. I get so embarrassed. I immediately go to my phone when like something, I'm like, oh
my God. I was watching it with my mum, by the way. My sweet Catholic mother. And like she's watching her daughter get banged by this dude.
That's hard.
And I'm just like, Mum, you need to leave too. Get out of here. Because the boys left and my mum just sat there and was watching. And I was like, I'm not going to sit next to you while you watch me get banged like this. Even Mark, I find it's embarrassing. Like, I don't even want Mark to see that. Yeah. I'm just like, let's just fast forward that bit. No one needs to see it.
Well, you know what show I really want to see is Boy Swallows Universe. That is your show, Phoebe, which you just won Best Actress for the Actor Awards. Is that right?
They did to me by
so well
handed
deserved.
Over by your bestie, which looks like the coolest, most amazing. I mean, Tez was in tears, right? I was like,
I'm still, if I could go back and redo it.
Oh my God, stop.
There's a few things I would change.
Tell me. Tell us. Can you do it over right now, whatever you would have done?
So I was telling Phoebe this. I sort of like got wind of the fact that she was going to win this right before I walked on. I kind of got like wind of it, right? So, but
because you peeked at the card,
like, or that's just a rumor, or because everyone did think Phoebe was going to win, only because this is why it was the most breathtaking performance you can possibly imagine.
I can't wait to see it.
And also, a lot of people haven't seen Phoebe in this way.
Yeah,
and it was so gritty and raw and daring and brave and all these things. So, I think there was like the general consensus is that like, oh, she's got to come home with a trophy. I mean, she literally like smashed it, right? So I sort of assumed, but you never know. And then I kind of got the idea that this was probably going to happen. So what I did was right before I went out on stage, I had to present. It was actually quite nerve-wracking because before I presented her award, I had 2 other things that I had to do on stage. And I don't like public speaking. Like that is not a comfort zone for me at all. Like I don't mind acting in front of a crew. I don't love having to present.
Because you're yourself.
You're yourself. Yeah. Exactly. And you're not like, you haven't learned lines. You're just reading off a teleprompter, and then the idea that the teleprompter would fail, it was all very anxiety ridden to me. I had to go out and then sell my own show on stage to people, introduce the trailer of my new show.
Oh, shoot.
Sit and watch that. Watch everyone watching me on screen and then present Best Lead Actor, which your co-star won.
Yes.
And then it was Phoebe's turn. So right before I went on, I was practicing.
That's a lot.
I know. So I was up there for a while. But I was practicing saying her name in a very calm way. So I was just like, Phoebe Tonkin. And I was doing it and I was like, oh, I'm smashing this. Like, this is so good.
Oh, my God.
And then when I actually got up there, and my whole hands everything was shaking because I was like, oh my God, like, this could be the most iconic moment, like in between her and I.
Yeah.
I've been her biggest cheerleader for so long. And I was like, it's all leading to this moment. So I'm opening it, my hands are all shaky, and I see her name. And it's like I lose my breath or something. It just like squawks out in this pitiful little voice. I was like, and I scream out in this weird way, and then I'm crying at the end of the word universe. I was like, universe! I mean, it was the most embarrassing.
Okay, did you perceive any of that, or were you just like, you didn't?
I mean, I think even on the broadcast, I think I turned to my husband, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like it was all so, like it was so overwhelmingly like surreal that like Teresa, who I have looked up to my entire career, saying my name on this stage in front of all these people that I also look up to, like the whole thing just felt very like kind of like dreamy in a very strange way. And so by the time I got up there and then we was hugging and I was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Because I also was like, I don't know how I'm going to like get through this thank you speech because I'm just like looking at you. Anyway, the whole thing was just really funny. And we got off stage and we were just like, I was like sweating. I was holding your hand. We were like screaming. I was like, oh my God, what just happened?
There's all these gorgeous like photos of us, like as we were walking off stage, like the moment we were all like away from the public eye and it was just the 2 of us. There was a photographer following us and taking our pictures, and they're really cute because they're such real moments of us just celebrating.
I think I saw some of those photos, but you looked so poised, Phoebe. You looked like so poised and together, and like it was beautiful.
I didn't feel that way. And then, but then I got to return the favor maybe 6 weeks later at the Good Day USA gala and hand Teresa the best actress. Well, what was it? It was the
it was like an excellence in film and television.
Exactly. Just like the biggest award that anyone can receive. And so then, but then I was also on yours, like, and I was so nervous having to read from that teleprompter.
Oh yeah, that's a nerve-wracking
as well.
situation.
You did the best speech. Because she had to write a speech.
It was so good. I
could just read some lines that someone else wrote for me. She actually had to come up with a speech.
No, your speech was amazing. It was beautiful.
You know what happened? Well, I also had realized it's so easy to write things when they're coming. Like I wrote your speech like in like an hour because it was so real and I know you so well that I was just like, but then what happened was that we've been trading like speeches. I then was like, this is kind of fun. And so I said to my husband, I was like, I'm making a speech at our wedding. I'm loving these because I finally am like, this is fun. And so then because of doing your speech, I then made a speech at my wedding. And then Teresa also read a poem at the church at my wedding. So we've been like trading speeches.
And with that wedding,
for like 3 months.
That wedding looked insane. Your dress was, well, actually both dresses were beyond. I was like stalking you guys on Instagram because it was so beautiful. Wow, what a crazy.
It was the most magical wedding. It was really hard for me to not cry. In fact, I did cry at the start, but I knew I had to get up and do my reading. And I was like, the pressure's on. And then we were laughing. Phoebe and I were laughing because there was a stage. Yeah. I was meant to, like, because I hadn't rehearsed doing the reading, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, there was some stairs, but if I went up the stairs, I would cut in front of Phoebe and Bernie to get to the mic.
Oh my God.
So Teresa, like I see you walking towards the stage and you pivot and I'm kind of under my breath going, take the stairs, Teresa, take the stairs. Teresa just hikes up her like beautiful gown and just steps on top of the stage, like doesn't go up the stairs, just like hikes up. And then when you finished it again, I was like, take the stairs, you can take. And you're like pregnant and you've got this beautiful dress and then you go down across the stage instead of the stairs.
I was like, I can't get in the way of photos. I can't. Like, here I am waddling up with my pregnancy belly.
Stop it. You look so gorgeous.
I'm like, imagine if I stack it. Like, that would just so be me. To like,
my veil did get stuck on the flowers at the end. I was like looking, I was like smiling at everyone. I was like so overwhelmed. And then I was like pointed back by the flowers because my veil got stuck. And I was like, Abby. My sister, I was like, Abby, help.
I love the little, we were saying last night, the little moments of imperfections.
Yeah.
So
like
good.
at a wedding, like a baby crying or, you know what I mean? It's like actually makes it so real and humanizes it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I see all those Bridezilla shows where it's like,
yes.
Yeah, no.
It's like so
things, because it makes it real and I mean, yeah, so funny.
Yeah. My favorite thing about it was like that the photographer caught my husband.
Oh, yeah. It was a vegan restaurant.
It was a vegan restaurant.
Back in the kitchen?
Like the vegan restaurant in New York. And I didn't see him the whole night at the reception. I swear to God. He was just by the food. He tried every single thing that came out. He was the most excited. Like, he'd be like, oh, and then this, and then that. And he was like, have you not tried this? I was like, I'm full. I had a normal size plate and I ate it. I don't need to keep eating.
Oh
and that's what he did for hours. And there's the photographer has this great shot of him.
Like, because you guys were probably the only actual vegans. Like, we chose the restaurant because it's an amazing food. And, like, obviously being non-vegan, you can enjoy it. No, but I can enjoy, it's not like I'm just, like, railing steak every day. Like, I can enjoy a big restaurant. And 11 Madison is, like, unbelievable. Iconic. And the space and all of that. But you guys were the only vegans. And I said to you ahead of time, I was like, you guys are going to lose your mind. Like, this is your Super Bowl.
Like, it is a dream. Even just to get in there, to be able to get in there is so hard. The fact that we got to be there for Phoebe's wedding. By the way, we were the first people there. We got on the first bus. We were the nerds at the front, like, ready to go. Like, Mark was frothing.
Napkins tucked into his shirt. He's got his knife in the floor.
I mean, so many people laughed at Mark at the restaurant.
I'm sure.
That's where he was. Anyway, it was such a memorable, beautiful...
But who's going to make what what's the next speech?
I know. What is the next speech?
When you win Oscar.
At her birth. You can make a speech at the birth.
Just be calling me from the window, like, as I'm pushing out a baby. And then, Teresa, I said, oh my God, it would be amazing.
So good.
We do like a speech. That's a really good point, though. Like, I feel like something unlocked in me after that went quite well, apart from me like geeking out in that way and sort of squealing a bit and losing my voice. I feel like some of the fear dissipated for me because it sort of bounced back and forth. And then I had to do a speech after her speech to me. I then had to do the acceptance speech.
Yeah.
And I was like, I will not be able to enjoy my night until that is done. And actually, while I was on the stage, I was like, this isn't so bad. I don't know why. I have made this such a scary thing in my mind.
Well, they say the like number one fear for people is public speaking.
Yeah.
And I think that is true for a lot of people. I think that's why so many schools and stuff these days are really working on getting kids very comfortable getting up in public speaking, like really, really young, because it's like a huge fear for anyone.
Because it's also not something that you do. So you build up an anxiety about something that you haven't had really the opportunity to explore if you're even actually that scared of it, which is why I think we both have now done it. And we're like, who wants us to make a speech for you?
We're professional speech writers.
Love it.
I love it. I mean, you guys have been friends for how long? You guys have known each other for what?
Okay, I met you when I was 20 and I'm turning 36. I'm turning 26. I'm turning 36, so I've known you for 16 years.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And I think I even met you before that because I met you at Flickerfest. With Xavier Samuel and Lara.
And Lara at the time, Beagle, now Worthington, now your friend.
Oh, wow.
So like 16, 17 years.
Dang.
And I saw her at this thing, and just like you, Sarah, I was like, I've never seen something more beautiful than that.
Yeah.
Who is that? Like, who is that girl? And then someone was like, she's an actress. And I was like, oh my God, look at her face. Like, she's so good. And by the way, this is at the height of my watching FTV. I don't know if you used to watch fashion TV.
FTV. You told me about this.
I used to watch
an
it.
American thing.
FTV. Yeah, it was so cool, by the way.
Cool.
It was like all the shows all the time.
Different music would play over it. So it was like almost like watching like Rage or like Triple J. That's Australian. Like watching MTV. So you get all the music, but it would just be like fashion show after fashion show.
Yeah. And then these little like vox pops with like the models like smoking a cigarette and talking about the show and stuff.
So rad.
And I just thought it was so cool. And I like immediately was like, is she a model? Who is that girl? She's so gorgeous. And I told you briefly, I got introduced to you briefly that night.
Yeah.
But then we really hit it off. I know we always say this about like Coachella, but how do we?
Okay, so this is how this all went down.
You tell me.
So I was at Pally House, and I don't think I was 21 yet, so I wasn't really meant to be there. But I was there, and at Pally House at the time was like the watering hole for all the Aussies, like all the Australians that lived in LA. Because at the time, like everyone lived in LA. Now it's like everyone's sort of all over the place. But I was there and I was talking to a few people, and then you came up and talked to me and you were like, we met briefly, whatever. She's like, and Teresa said, I just went for this audition. It's called I Am Number 4 and you need to go. You'd be so right for it, and call your agents on Monday morning and tell them you want to go for I Am Number 4. And I remember thinking, this is not what I expected from like an actress like Teresa, who I like was like had such a like work crush on and like looked up to, and I'd seen 237, and I was like, this is I expected people to really like gatekeep jobs, as if that would actually like prevent someone from getting a job. And here was this girl who ultimately got the job, and you were probably going to get the job at the time. You were willing to like, not that I would have gotten it, but jeopardize like someone else maybe getting an opportunity that you were going to potentially get. And I remember just being so blown away. And honestly, it really like dictated my own relationship with actresses that were younger than me, over the years of like, you really can be like, it showed just how confident you were in your ability. And like, it was just the coolest thing to just sort of see this actress that I looked up to be so open and warm and like supportive of me. And that was my first. And then after that, we ended up going to Coachella, and someone was late and I ended up going just with you. Yeah, it has 3 hours where we were driving to go Coachella. I learned that Teresa is quite the swerver. She loves a swerve.
Bit of a lead foot.
Yeah,
She's a very fast driver.
Very fast driver. But, we still were in traffic, thankfully.
Bit of a lead foot.
And we realized that we had so much in common. We wanted for a lot of the same things, and we just got along so well. And then from there on,
she was my
history.
Cancerian sister. It's always, I really gravitate towards fellow Cancers. Well, because my husband's a Cancer, right?
Yeah.
And so many of my best friends, so many people in my life, I like all but like I'm Pisces. Pisces and Cancer have such
My husband's a Pisces.
Oh my God.
Pisces and Cancer.
You know that it's one of the best zodiac matches like possible.
Pisces and Cancer.
Because that's so funny. I didn't know that it was a Pisces. That makes so much sense. Of course, it's like soulmate feelings because that Pisces Cancer match is just so great in friendship and relationship. So I have had lots of my best friends are Cancers, and we just chatted for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And to speak to that story you were just saying is I remember like genuinely feeling when I was having these opportunities in Hollywood, and Phoebe and I have been spending a lot of time this morning talking about the ways in which the industry's changed. Very different from when, back then.
Yeah. Yes, and very different.
Like I just always wanted to cheerlead for my peers because it was such an exciting time, and there was enough for all of us, and we were all different shades and different colors and brought different flavors, and it was like, and I still try and carry this to this day, even though the industry has changed so much. I want to just root for my friends. I want to see them succeed, and success is enjoyed more when it's together. And I've loved championing Phoebe. I feel like I've been one of your biggest fans from the start. Like I saw such amazing work in her like so many years ago, and I was like, she is so good. And then to see her get the opportunities that she's so deserving of has been really exciting, especially in the Australian film industry, because it's like a close-knit community and we're churning out amazing projects. And to get to see, like right now, Phoebe's filming with one of Australia's best directors, Emma Freeman, who, Sarah, I work with on Family Next Door. And now she's
love Emma.
Yeah, we're obsessed with Emma. And it's like those things are so exciting. And that's the kind of friends that we are. And they're the friendships I want to cultivate. It's and I feel the same way about you too, Sarah. Like there's enough room for all of us. Like why not champion each other?
Yeah. And also that then leads to like great collaborations as well. Like now we're, desperate to find something to do together. But I mean, when your friends win, you win, it's like, it's such a nice feeling to feel like everyone is on their path and everyone is doing well and everyone is happy. And there is enough to go around, maybe not as much these days as there was back then. But like
there's a smidge to go around these days.
But you still, I mean, a year ago, you sent me something that you were doing and you were like, there's a role and there's, you still do this 16 years later. And it's so important because this industry can feel really isolated in many ways, and to know that you have, friends that have your back, and then in turn you get to return the favor, whether, to other people that are just starting out, or, it's my dream to just be able to work with my friends and people that become friends because I've worked with them on something, and then create a relationship with them and then find other things to work with them on. Like, life's too short to not have those relationships with the people you're spending sometimes 14 hours a day with in this industry on these jobs. So,
well, I'm sure you've had the experience where it's not like that. And then you're like, it's weird on set, or it's like uncomfortable, or like whatever it is. So when you have people like in any job that you really get on with, and it's kind of amazing. And you guys were the OG Your Zen Life, like this that started together, right?
What? The OG YZL, which is the funniest. Like, I was watching Apple Cider Vinegar, which just came out.
Me too. Are we watching all the same things? So I literally just finished that as well.
And I was watching it and I was like, oh my God. And also what's really funny to think now, because this was pre-Instagram, or like early Instagram, pre-blogs, pre-podcasts, like not the toot our own horn, Tez, but like,
it was, we had our finger on the pulse.
We like had this blog very early on before like influencers were a thing. And it's just so funny to see how it's like grown, and not that we were the only ones doing it, but we were definitely like early on kind of going, like, I think there's this like thirst and desire for content that isn't just like Women's Wear Weekly or like, you know, it was like voices that weren't experts. They were just like almost personal like op-eds about their experience with things. And you and I, we had Your Zen Life, and it was so funny.
It was you were the first person to introduce me to wellness stuff. I feel like you were a little bit like further ahead with that. And I was like, what is this weird and wonderful world? And then I got so into it, and we were like obsessed with our yoga and our clean eating and all the things that we did, our dates. We used to make these dates with like almond butter.
Yeah.
What do we call them?
Still good. The boats.
The boats. Oh, do you remember like we were so funny? We would bring our own snacks onto the plane.
Yeah.
In like Ziploc bags, like measured out, like the almond butter and the carob. We used to love carob.
I so love carob chips. I actually can't keep them in my house because I'll eat like the entire bag.
I feel like they don't taste like anything.
No, you got to find the good ones. Or like a little carob bear.
Oh, yum. Yes. Yeah, the carob. But
I don't know those, but
we got to bring some. We'll bring some back to you.
Some. I just shipped her some other goodies. They should be arriving soon, Sarah. I'll ship you some carob bears.
But it was definitely at that time. Again, like we look at information now, and it's so easy to get like from TikTok, Instagram, the news, whatever apps.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it was sort of like a little more like it wasn't as available. But I do think like now there's a lot more conversation about like the balance. Like I think we were like, and I remember, I'm going to be really honest with you, I remember being really conflicted because I was 21 and I was like living in Vancouver, and I was like kind of naughty. I was like, I'm smoking an American Spirit, and like I'm also seeing the dates and this like health website, and like I was so I felt so much shame. And I'm also not saying that you should smoke, but I do think that the shame around like you're either one or the other, and I was like, I have to be one or the other, was like, I felt so much pressure. And like now I don't obviously smoke, but I'm not like I have to measure out my like food on the plane or like only eat organic at all times. Like there's a real like balance. Like I love yoga, and then I also like love like not going to yoga because I want to sit in bed and like rot and watch TikTok.
Totally. Watch 6 hours of Teresa on TV.
And they're totally okay. But
that to me is like the new idea of balance. Like back then it was like, just have a healthy balance. Like the green juice, and then the next day you'll have the chocolate smoothie, and that's balance.
That was the balance.
Whereas now, I was saying to Phoebe this morning, I was like, I do feel like I predominantly eat pretty healthy. I have a wellness company. I take supplements, but also I pound salt and vinegar chips, and I eat a chocolate bar every single day, especially when I'm pregnant. And I'm sure chomping ice is probably not great for my teeth, and that's what I do.
I'm pretty sure I broke a tooth because of that.
I'm pretty sure this is why my teeth are thinning, because I chomp ice 5 times a day. But the balance now is like, I've got my Apple Watch. Did I close my rings yesterday? No, I did not. Am I going to try it today? Yeah, I'm going to try it. Go for a walk, go for a hike.
I think the emphasis is now more on like well-being in a like your mental state way, like as opposed to aesthetics or like anything superficial, which like obviously they all tie in together. But I remember just feeling like clean, having to be so clean at all times was like so important. And
and by the way, was not healthy in the end. Like, was not healthy. I lost my period. I was so clean, unbelievable clean. We used to go, what was the name?
You needed a little bit of Taco Bell in there, just like a tiny bit.
I would have never. Like I would never have had white bread, corn chips, no way. Like that's way too processed for me back in the day. What was that place we used to go to eat at where we get the steamed?
Not Suan, Anaka.
Anaka.
Which I did love Anaka. Anaka was very vibe
in LA or in Australia?
In LA on the Raya, and they closed it down and I cried in COVID and they closed that down because it was so good. But yes, to circle back, we did start Your Zen Life and it's so funny that was so long ago. I'm sure, I wonder if the website's still, I still sometimes like, we'll see like old documents because we were like writing all these articles and recipes that were like 2 ingredients. It was like butter and date. Like here's a recipe we've created. But
one of my best friends, Susie, who you guys know, I talk about her a lot. She took one of the recipes from Your Zen Life. It was this like one of our kind of dates and berries, like a breakfast crisp recipe.
Yeah.
And she took it to the like first family like Christmas as her thing that she made. And it was apparently like
so bad.
Inedible. Oh, was that you?
Yeah. No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you. No, it was inedible, like inedible. And everyone was like, oh, what? Oh, like, you know, back then there was just no sugar. It was just the fruit. So there's no like agave or maple syrup or anything added because I was trying to be so clean.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, delicious, Susie. Where did you get this recipe from?
Is she vegan too?
No, she just thought it was like, it
she was just
sounded
like, this
good.
is healthy and sounds good. And
are you vegan?
No, I was though for like a minute but I was a vegetarian and sort of like pescatarian a little bit for like quite a few years. And then now I eat meat here and there again. But that happened with us with, oh my God, there was a place, I think it's called Rebar in like Victoria, Canada or something.
I know Rebar.
You know Rebar?
Rebar's also in LA, isn't it? You can get the green smoothies and you add the things to the...
Maybe. It was like a full-on restaurant there. Eric was shooting a movie there and I went to visit him and we went and ate there every single day and they had a cookbook. And so I bought the cookbook and I was like, oh, I'm going to crush this at home, you know, like I want to make all these amazing meals. And so I made this mushroom soup. By the way, I'm so allergic to mushrooms. I'm like, didn't know it at the time. But anyway, I made this mushroom soup and it was like, make the stock from scratch. So I made it. It took me 8 hours to make the stock. And then I made like, you know, all the rest of the thing. It turned into something you could lay bricks with. It should have been like a soup, but it was like a paste. The whole thing was like a paste. And I served it to Eric. It was like a gray paste. And he was like, oh, what is this? And I'm like, well, it took all day. I started this morning and it took the whole day. And he was like, okay. And he tried it and he was like, I love you. This is awful. Like what this is. And I was like, I'm never cooking vegan again. I can't do it. I screwed it up so bad. I was like, never mind. I have to stick to my, like, I'm from the South. I cook fried food. I'm fine with, I can do that. Like bacon,
yeah, I'm good at frying
eggs, biscuits. Like I can do things like that, but I can't cook vegan.
How funny.
That's hilarious.
Too tough.
I'm lucky that Mark is the chef in our family.
He is. He's such a good chef.
He's so good. And he's really creative. And
I know.
And I can give him, like tonight, I asked for the stir fry. He does this really good stir fry.
Yum.
That man knows how to make tofu. Delicious. Like I usually think tofu is so gross. He somehow has like, he turns it into this like melt in your mouth. Amazing. I don't know how he does it. Some people are just gifted in that area.
I'm not. I don't enjoy it either. I'm not gifted and I don't like cooking.
So who cooks in does Bernie a good cook?
Bernie cooks. I'm like, I like really plain things. Like I will just like, throw salmon in the air fryer and like boil some rice.
Yeah.
I'm not, which I guess is cooking. But when I think of cooking, I think of like multiple spices and ingredients and simmering things. I'm just like oven, air fryer, bit of oil, rice, salt and lemon. And so,
oh my God.
But we also live in New York, so it's really easy to get, great takeout and all of those things. It's really naughty, but yeah.
Did you just go on like a honeymoon right after your wedding?
No, this is my job in Brisbane. It's my honeymoon. No, we will eventually. But yeah, no, not yet.
Oh my God.
But yeah, because I've been in Brisbane doing this show for
right after the wedding?
5 weeks. Yeah, right after the wedding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the new show. Can you talk about it at all?
Yeah, it's a show for Paramount, directed by the incredible Emma Freeman, and with Brenton Tweets. It's sort of a love story that is like an anti-rom-com. It touches on isolation and loneliness and like coming to a relationship in your mid-30s and all of the baggage that you come into a relationship as like an adult with. And it's not like falling in love in your early 20s. You're coming in a relationship sort of as you are. Like, we all know, like in your 30s, like my friend and I always joke, like you're cooked. Like you kind of are fully cooked in your 30s. And there's obviously things that you'll change a bit and learn, but you just sort of are who you are. And I love being in my 30s so much.
I know, me too.
I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And I know who I am enough. And so going into a relationship with all that, and so that's sort of what the show is about. And it sort of takes place 2 years after COVID, after lockdown. So these two people have been really isolated and quarantining at home and lacking kind of human connection. And it kind of takes place after that 2 years of isolation.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's really...
And it's got like flares of like before sunset, before sunrise, that did you ever see that? They're so amazing.
That series.
Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke, where it's just like two people conversing.
Yeah.
Which is heaven.
Yeah.
And with the best director in all the lands, our friend.
Yeah, she sounds amazing.
She's amazing. But
we're like, that's so we need to get a show.
You need to manifest that. Put that on your board. Put it in your journal.
There is the funniest video of Phoebe and I. On YouTube.
Oh, the manifest.
Yeah.
But by the way, in that video, because I just rewatched it, I say one of my manifestations was living in New York, and I live in New York.
Yes.
So,
wow.
Yeah. And if you look at it, you guys can find, if you look for it, like just Google our names and do like manifested board or whatever, you will see that a lot of mine came true.
Because you didn't have even a baby by then.
I had no baby. I had no husband. I know
Bruna on there, I think.
Yeah, no, Bruna's on. She's been on a few of mine. Terrence Malick was on it.
Malick was on it.
You did.
I worked with him a couple of years later.
Yeah.
But then there's all these blonde children.
Yeah.
Like there's in the top left, I remember there's like all these blonde kids. And I was like, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
It really happened.
Oh my God. That period, you couldn't pay me to be 25 again.
To go back
you
again.
Just couldn't give me $1 million. I couldn't do it. I mean, I think we were even younger than that. We were like 21, 22. But
yeah.
I'm so happy to be in my 30s.
Me too.
It is the best feeling.
There's just so much learning that happens in your 20s, right? Like you're going through so much learning, and then you get into your 30s and it's like, now you're like, oh, I feel like I've learned so much. And then you get hit with so many new challenges that really help you to start defining and seeing who you really want to be in this life. And and it's amazing. It does evolve. It does continually evolve. But when you go back to your 20s, you're like, there's some moments where you go wow, some of that was really embarrassing or
But then you know what I think though? If I could go back to my, like if I had a time machine, I could go back to my 20 and it kind of,
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siri. If I could go back, and it kind of speaks to what I was saying before, I would be like, it's okay. Because I spent so much of my 20s being so confused but I felt so guilty about it. And I was like, I should have all this figured out and I should have done this and this and this.
Yeah.
And I wish I could just go back and be like, you're good. Like, don't even think about this stuff. Like,
just have
fun, make the mistakes because that's what like builds character and all these things, but don't feel guilty about them. Like, don't feel like you're doing anything wrong because for me, I feel like my life really started properly at 33. Like even 30, I like, you know, was still like, there was still stuff to figure out, but I wish I could just take all the shame and guilt about all of it and eliminate that, but still like let myself go through all of the like messy, shitty, confusing stuff, but without the shame.
I know.
Just so much time is wasted.
Where do you think that came from for you? Like, why do you feel like you had guilt and shame? Did that come from like childhood? Did that come from, or were you just putting it on yourself, religion? Like what?
I think I put it on myself. I think that I thought, you know, also like what we do, you're like catapulted into the most adult scenarios. So I even look back at like us all at like 20 and 21. And when I joke about like having your Zen life and then also being like, oh, I kind of want to smoke a cigarette and like drink some bad wine in the Delta Lounge. Like that's sort of what most 21-year-olds are doing. They're in college and they're having these experiences. Whereas we were all on sets and we were getting up early and we had responsibilities and we had to spend our weekends learning lines and doing work. And so a lot of our like early 20s were sort of taken from us in that way because we had serious jobs, like serious responsibilities, and we're making money and people that we had to like answer to. And so I think because of that, I was surrounded by people that I was like, I should have it figured out. And now I look back and I'm like, but everyone else my age at that time was like in Cabo with their girlfriends on spring break. Like I didn't have a husband by then because I shouldn't have had.
Right.
Because I was a kid. And so that, I think it was like self-imposed and also just the nature of our industry that we all just were living like really grown-up lives.
Yeah. And then also like having agents and these real adults telling us like, you know, what their expectations are and like, this is what you should be doing. And if you're not doing this and like, you need to work harder or you need. And I remember it was probably only about 6 years ago that I was like, hang on a second, dynamic shift here. I am not like the student and they're the teacher. I'm like, this is a collaborative partnership. Like I also can say, hey, I feel like moving to Australia and doing 10 shows in a row, you know? And it's so interesting when you find your voice and you find your way of being. But I completely agree. And my thing was I had self-imposed pressure to find a husband and have babies immediately.
Well, there's so much instability in our industry that I do think, you know, I don't know if it's like I'm generalizing, but I do think that there was a feeling of like wanting a partner so desperately in my early 20s because it was the only stability that you had. Like friends were all transient because we were all actors in LA. Obviously, I had my friends from school at home, but I was in LA and everyone was transient. So there was this desire that actually was more, I think, about stability for me than actually like, I need a boyfriend and a husband at 24. I just really wanted stability.
To build home.
Because like you're like in different states. And then on top of that, I think, you know, at that time, like 10 years ago, there was this idea that like 30 was like you were like sent out to pasture. Like that was the end of your career and you were going to like turn 30 and your face was going to fall apart and everything was going to suddenly like go back. Like, and it just like at my wedding, like however many, I looked around at all my friends who were all like moms of like multiple kids or one kid or no kids. And they're all like 35 and above. And I was like, I've never seen hotter women in my life. They're all confident. We all look, I think myself, I look way better, I think, now than I did like 10 years ago. And yet at that time, I really thought like, oh, 30 and above.
It's all over.
Just, it's over and
all the
so
opportunities
not
dry
great.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, your wedding was particularly, I was looking around and I was like, wow, this is a room full of gorgeous, successful entrepreneurs and women who are in their 30s and have families and all the things. And I remember there's that really great interview with Naomi Watts, and there's a bunch of really prolific actresses all sitting around a round table discussing this. And she said the same thing. She was like, I was told you hit your late 30s and it's all over.
Yeah, you're sent out and shot, basically.
Yeah. There's no worth in this person anymore because they're aging. And I was like, what a great privilege to age, because obviously the alternative is death. So I'm happy that I'm aging.
Yeah.
And, just that reframe is really important. I would also like to go back to my younger self and be like, it gets better and better. Do not worry. Stop stressing.
Yeah, totally.
Well, also when you're in the industry and you get a role for something and the role says she's between 30 and 35, and then you go out for it and then they're like, yeah, they're just, I think maybe maybe it's just a little too old for it. And then you're like, wait, what? I don't play that age anymore. And so that's the weird thing too, where it gets in your head. And I think that's when people start to question things, which you never should. You just really shouldn't. Just own it. Own where you're at.
I always think about those descriptions where it was the chubby one, the unattractive one, not, and I've read that over the years. And imagine your agent being like, I have the perfect role for you. I just saw one on this casting directors thing, which was we're looking for people with very strange faces, weird, scary faces for a new upcoming horror film. I was like, imagine being the friend.
I saw that. Was that on Instagram?
It was.
I got that ad as well.
Oh my God, I saw it too. It's an Australian casting director.
That's really
And it
weird.
had pictures of these ghoulish looking people. Imagine sending that on to your friend and be like, oh my God, there's
you'd be right.
great opportunity for you in the film industry. What you're waiting for.
That's so weird. It's
So
just
weird.
it's so strange. And how do we even begin to cast that? As a casting director, I would be like, guys, we have to they're prosthetics. This is we can't. That's a toughie.
Well, this is fun. I love our sleepover chats.
Yeah.
I know.
Sleepover
Same.
series.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. You'll be the first one of the sleepover series.
Daisy sleepover. Oh, so good. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you. This is so fun. I forgot there was even a camera and a microphone.
Yeah.
A catch up.
We're so professional over here.
We're very
we're so profesh. We barely ever have it together.
Honky Tonks for being here. We love you. And she's now going to drive back to Brisbane to keep working this week.
Well, thank you for doing this, and congrats on the new show. I'm so excited to binge watch it.
And congratulations on your baby.
Thank you. She's inside sleeping with Sonia right now.
Aww.
Just living it up. Well, I love you guys. And
love you.
Daisies, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We love you, Daisies. Bye.
Love you. Bye.